One of the traits about some Brazilian people that I'm not a fan of, that I'm not a fan about, is, and this is done quite a lot, are the false promises that they throw about. A little bit like confetti outside a church when the couple
Yeah.
emerge just married.
Yeah. Okay.
So we get these people who either do this to hide their incompetence or to showboat, to give the idea that they're able to do things alone, above their pay grade. I'm sure you've met them.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't say it's Brazilian, but yeah.
Leave it to me, I'll do it. Leave it to me, and they never do. So it seems like Angela, I'm a northern lass Rayner, must have some Brazilian blood in her. As it appears, she's done exactly that. She was warned by Kemi Badenoch in the famous House of Commons speech about how Rayner is going to be the fall girl for the Labour Party, the useful idiot, if you will, when it comes to government policy. And it seems that clairvoyant Kemi was right on the money.
Yeah.
Rayner made the policy of 1.5 million new build houses by the time the next election comes round, if the full term is served out. But it looks like this objective will not be met, not by a long chalk. So let's look behind us. How many new build affordable houses have been built since the government took office? Well, public housing, the total, the tally, if you like, is zero.
Yeah. Okay. My mum's, yeah. Okay.
And the private housing is next to zero,
Yeah.
making her policy about as popular as the song Embers, sung by James Newman in the 2021 Eurovision Song Contest. It came in last, they
Yeah.
got null.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
So why is Angela Rayner's project set up to fail? Well, according to the Home Builders Federation, since this current government took office, only 2,260 housing sites have been approved, the lowest level since records began. The number of units approved, that's like flats,
Yeah.
housing units, was only 57,356, or in other words, 40% lower than in 2021. The government has promised to reorganise the planning system, whereby they will employ more people, make it easy to build on Greenbelt, and by building several new towns from scratch. But even with these changes, the construction sector has been at its lowest level in 6 months before Christmas. So just before Christmas,
Yeah.
it's almost at a standstill.
Mm.
Let's not forget she promised that 370,000 new homes would be built each year, but also there's a shortage of buyers, as mortgage rates are so high nobody can afford a house these days.
Yeah.
Even local authorities are saying what she wants is unrealistic.
Mm.
And Rayner said something spectacular yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before. She said, I don't lose. I hate losing. I've always been underestimated my whole life.
Okay. Fair
Well,
enough.
I'm not sure that that situation should stop now, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, as she said herself at the Commons Select Housing Committee about how she was going to build all the houses, she promised and turn the current situation around. She replied that the turnaround would not happen in the immediate. It's a bit like the Titanic, not like a hackney cab. Need I say more?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, go
Got
on
your
then.
got your
Go
deck
on.
check. Yeah.
That's
You got
not
your
need I say more. No, I shouldn't.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Did yeah, you got your deck chair ready for the deck of the Titanic. it's a um yeah, okay. Yeah, we all knew it was an incredible promise to say it. And okay, maybe all parties manifestos are an exaggeration of what could actually do. That was definitely a gross overestimate of it all. Um,
Just,
now,
just, just to keep the record straight, in 2016, Donald Trump's manifesto, he did everything that was on it. But just saying, just putting it out
well,
there.
yeah,
But come
okay,
back to this. Coming back
okay.
to this.
There's capabilities, there's realism. Um, okay, it, she, anyone that knew anything when we read it, and um, anyone that's been mildly involved in the construction industry looked at it and thought, nah. Even if you streamline the planning process, which can lead to lots of other problems if you do that as well. Remember, you're talking about a group of people in the administration in the UK who are putting ideology above outcome, anything else. Yeah. Okay, you could build a brand new housing estate down the road somewhere. What's not often thought about? Communication links, getting roads there. Yeah. We all know in Brazil they sometimes build a new housing estate in the middle of absolutely
No
nowhere, and
roads.
there's no roads. You can't access it during the well,
Just like here where I live.
yeah,
When we moved in
yeah,
30 years ago, 30
yeah,
odd years ago, there were no
yeah,
roads.
yeah.
They were an afterthought.
Well, you know,
And the drainage system was even another afterthought later
yeah,
on.
yeah. I mean, there you've seen where relatives of mine live. Yeah, that's function there, and you go there, quite a nice house or nice houses, no, no made up roads going to them, or certain areas. Yeah, yeah, once a week. That's actually got once a year they bring a bulldozer in and just move it all over. Great maintenance. Um, but yeah, certainly, yeah. So you got that. You've got to get electricity to them. And it's just not a case of running you cables. You've got to have a good supply secure. You can't overload the supply. Um, any engineer we're looking at and planning people, we're going, well, already we've got cities or towns in the UK and areas that are already at capacity for drainage. I mean, by drainage, I also mean for sewage. Pretty much like the policies, but yeah. Yeah,
The last thing that Blackpool needs are more houses
yeah.
for more sewage to be pumped into the sea.
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah, what do you do with it? I mean, okay, do we have a housing problem in the UK? Yes, we do. Well, there's lots of houses, ex-military houses that are unused. Now, I don't know with that, brownfield sites, for example, we call them. Yeah. How difficult would it be? I mean, I don't know why if the military are holding on to them or quite what's going on that. And I don't understand the legal ramifications of it all. You've got perfectly good empty places that used to service our troops, um, where you could do them up, maybe, or I say do them up. It's got to be easier than that. They've already got the sewage and the electricity there. Um, okay, supply, and it might need some maintenance. Surely that's an easy solution rather than shiny new houses, particularly if you're talking about housing people who need houses quite quickly. They're there. Unless you're going to start putting prefabs up everywhere, temporary measures, as it were, that end up being permanent fixtures. Now, we all know what prefabs are. We all know what they're made out of. And yeah, I'm not suggesting that. But you're saying the prefab, by the definition, means something that's ready to go. Um, um, yeah, but you still, yeah, you've got to think of the other other things around it, how you supply these people. You can't just build a community just like that. If you start putting different communities together, we know what can happen with that. Um, it doesn't gel, it doesn't work. Um, there's lots of factors involved in this policy that I looked at it and I thought, well, I admit that people need houses, and it's probably, I won't say a right to have a house. It's certainly a requirement in any civilization that people have somewhere to live. I've lived myself and paid expensive rent for bedsits that, quite honestly, one of the migrants coming in would probably reject. I paid money I was earning for it. Yeah,
I've shared a cellar before today, I'll tell you.
yeah.
I don't know, 40 years ago when I was still in the
Mm,
UK, but just before I left,
mm.
the latest town to be sort of built out in the middle of nowhere was Milton Keynes.
I lived there for a while. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right. So it would be interesting to know how that got along. And, if they can replicate, if they had stumbling blocks making Milton Keynes, would they have the same stumbling blocks today? Would they have learnt anything from Milton Keynes? Would
Well,
they do anything different?
I mean, Milton Keynes is an okay place to live. I've got relatives there, but I mean, Milton Keynes already had establishment places. It was like seven settlements, if you like, villages that were just all linked together to become a town or a city, whatever you want to label it as. And then, yeah, they got their shopping centre and all this, and the grid system on the roads and all that. A soulless place to live. That's what I found. Is soulless. They do have some problems. They've got a couple of states there that are issues. They've got one state that was actually built there for the workers. That's still there for counter, yeah, accommodation for people. Um, they got their redways, for cycling, so to move cyclists and pedestrians away from the main road. I mean, it was a nice garden city sort of idea. Um, do I think it works? I don't know. You'd have to talk to the people that live there. It's a bit of a marmite. You like it or you hate it. Getting away from it. I mean, that's an emotional thing. You build a community. They have their own things there. Um, I mean, on the face of it, it's okay. It's somewhere to live. If you view it as somewhere to live, I need an accommodation. I was working in the area. I had to have accommodation. Um, I rented myself a bedsit, literally a one bedroom living room bedsit, yeah, with a kitchen off the side. Yeah. Ideal for me at the time. Um, I mean, yeah, again, yeah, you can start putting these in. Telford was the same, new city. Place near where I come from, Basildon, was in effect a new city. That has its own social, economic issues as well. Always has had. You can't just do it. Building houses, yes, you've got your planning permission. Like I said, you've got to figure out how you're going to get what civilization to it, electricity and things that's stable. You've also got to look at where people are going to shop, where they're going to have their leisure, etc. Yeah. They keep talking about these 15-minute cities. Well, most of us live in a 15. Most of us don't venture out mainly now 15 minutes from our house, unless we're going to work or something. Yeah. Really. So we already live in there. I go to my local supermarket to buy what I need. It's as cheap as me going and doing out of town, but I live in a different country. People do their shopping out of town now. They go to a hypermarket somewhere once a month. We're quite lucky where we are. We've got them in town. Yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah.
They're like cockroaches.
Yeah, they keep going. Oh, yeah, it's very successful businesses. American companies can't make them work here. Brazilian companies can. Go figure. Yeah, I mean that could be another podcast in itself. Yeah. Um, yeah. So it's an interesting thing. It was never going to work. She was never going to have to build it. I remember Kemi Badenoch saying it. A little bit wry smile. Offering her help as well, I seem to remember.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, I think Kemi Badenoch is actually quite a decent person. Smart people. I mean, she's a politician. She'll throw out things and deflect.
For me, she's too student-like. She's all right. She's all right for a good argument, but to run a country, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, a bit like her opposite number, really. On that, yeah, not opposite
Well,
number.
Karma's not very student-like. He's like a 3-year-old.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay. I mean, could look at it. Yeah, she's very, as I said, but again, the same as him. She's a technocrat. She's very good on her desk, planning and coming up with the ideas and all that, and possibly, yeah, doing a bit of engine work behind the scenes. I quite like her when she speaks, like you say. I don't think that she. I mean, yeah, I've said it before. The problem is these people get into power, especially if you're slightly right wing, and then you're up against the blob to get anything done as well. Okay. And you're going to be up against the blob even if you're on their side to get anything built or done, because there's the other thing as well. people want to justify their existence, they're going to put blockages in there as well. Let's be honest about it. Yeah, the UK, are we getting overcrowded? Too many people, not enough houses? Again, I know there's empty properties everywhere. Now, I'm not some socialist who says you go, you should grab it off landlords and everything else. But when I know there's ex-military places, you drive along some places, you see these ex-military places. They're already established. They've got everything there. They're brownfield. Okay. If you need to put more amenities there, it'd be quite easy enough to build a nearby shop or anything else there, or reconstitute a building structure that might already exist. Again, problem solving, problem solutions. Not everything needs to be shiny new to resolve a problem. If you've got perfectly stable properties already there, government owned. Again, I'm finding it very okay. I'm not saying it's the complete solution to the problem. Maybe this is part of what she's talking about. I've not read the document. I don't know. Yeah. But it does strike me that politicians like shiny new things to appear to be doing something instead of standing.
Yeah, they always say the politician prefers to pay for a bridge rather than to pay for a sewer pipe.
Yeah,
because the sewer pipe goes underground and nobody sees it, and everybody sees the bridge.
yeah. I mean, nobody wants to stay. Yeah, they don't. They don't be cutting the ribbon in front of a 1950s housing estate that's been painted and probably refurbished and everything. Yeah, but that could be a very, very good vote win. Austerity. We're there for you guys.
Normally, that's the Lord Mayor that's the mayor that normally does that.
Well, whatever. Yeah. Okay.